It's happening. Listen, before this episode starts, we just thought we'd make a little clip to let you know that anyone who doesn't know, we now have a Patreon. It is patreon.com/another one podcast. And there's like a few different tiers on there. And we can go and get where you can sign up to us. And it helps us make this podcast. Helps us make it, helps us pay for the podcast. Helps us make it better. Helps us improve and put more content out. We've got big plans for things we want to do. Haven't we? Since
Yes, we have. We've got big plans. We have got big plans.
Yes, Rob. Yes.
No, we have got big plans, and without anyone signing to the Patreon, this will die.
Yeah.
This will go away eventually, because if we can't make it work financially, we can't keep doing it, can we?
No, we can't just keep throwing fucking...
No, and we've got Aftermill to buy, and that fucking costs
We've got kids to pay for.
Yeah.
Listen,
We
I'll
need
be
to
honest,
keep this...
if I can't provide, I'll leave.
Yeah.
So...
And we already know.
You don't want to make an orphan.
We already know how it's going, don't we? So we needed to be giving us something back.
Yeah, please.
Because we're bleeding here.
My kids are begging. My kids begging.
So sign up to the Patreon, patreon.com/another one podcast.
That's it. There's 3 different tiers, loads of different prices.
Pick one.
Pick one. Help
Sign
us.
up. You won't even notice it going out your bank. It's a couple of quid.
Less than a Tesco meal deal. Or, well, maybe more than a Tesco meal deal.
You'd buy a starving man a meal deal, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, I'm starving.
That's what we are.
Look at me.
Look at him.
Do
you think that? Do you think this?
Help.
Another one.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Welcome to the now infamously poor introduction to another one. Podcast brought to you by Rob Thomas and Simon Wozniak, and a desperate need to stay relevant.
I didn't think you were going to do it.
I'm always going to do it now.
Doing it.
It's just a thing now.
What
forever.
do you think of that as an intro? The desperate need to stay relevant.
Strong.
Oh, you like it?
Yeah.
I knew you'd agree with that. I knew you'd agree with that. Give it an hour. Maybe when you're on your second or third appearance, you can slag it off like it needs to be. It's not desperate.
Yeah. What did you say?
It's just your patter, isn't it?
You've got to do something.
Yeah, you've got to do something. And I've got the two big spots as well, which has annoyed me.
I had concealer. I could have sorted you out.
I know, but I keep it real, don't we, Mum, on this podcast?
There you go.
What is it? No games, no gimmicks. Or
no
whatever?
gimmicks, yeah.
That's
no
it,
gimmicks.
yeah.
We just come in raw.
Yeah, no.
None of these drops, none of these sound drops, or nothing.
I've been caning the ale a bit too much, I think, and poor diet and everything. So it's just all coming to a head now.
Yeah.
A
Literally,
yeah.
Yep. See, switched on already.
My nose are getting cared, you know what I mean?
Right, so we'll introduce you introduce the guests. You're better at doing intros than me.
All right, well, this week we're joined by 2 women. 2 women, by the way. We're very progressive.
Go.
Stay
Can't
woke.
cancel us now, yeah.
If you stay woke,
Who called us toxic?
Woke.
Fuck off. On Wazzy's side, Alex Stringer.
Team was.
And on my side from the DDP podcast, I said I didn't say from anything because I don't think you are on. Will we know you?
Podcast.
Have you got a podcast? Yeah.
I do have a podcast.
Oh shit! I apologise, Alex.
It's totally fine. We just haven't. We're taking a break at the minute.
Right. Okay.
It's about science, so.
Yeah, no one wants to listen to that.
There'll be much crossover between our pod lot.
I'm from.
But you never know. You never know.
You never know.
From Dan Daniel and BBC iPlayer, Molly McGuinness.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that. I do.
BBC nowadays, innit?
Yeah.
And
It's amazing. I didn't know that.
Thank you. Yeah, my mum keeps no one really cares when you're on it. But every time I go to Trafford Centre, my mum's like, "You might get spotted today." You know, are they looking at you? And it gets in my head. Then I'm like, maybe they are, but no, I don't think.
You're probably more likely to get spotted from the DDP in Manchester than you are from the BBC.
That's true.
That's sick.
But got to go in my best gear to Trafford Centre now, just in case.
Have you?
Yeah.
Get papped.
You can't be going and.
Did I tell you I got spotted at the match off this?
Did you?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I got spotted in Nottingham in a nightclub. Yeah. By some kid. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was made up telling my brother and all that, and then nothing makes you realise how unfamous you are except by being with someone who actually does get spotted. So I went to match with Rowe the next week.
Yeah.
And I was telling him, I got my first spot and all that. And he's like, yeah. And my brother was with us, I was telling him. And then about 8 people came and asked Rowe for a picture. And not one person recognised me. And it was so... I remember once we were on the train down to the UFC in London. And an actual comic come to the table and didn't recognise me just to talk to Paul Smith. Ian Stone it was. Literally come.
Yeah, he wouldn't know you.
We gigged together like 4 or 5 times. Obviously, I was like always just like the open spots or the thing.
Right.
Clear shows how much attention he's ever paid to it. And he's like coming and talking to Paul Blair, and I'm chipping in. And I can see him like looking at me every time I chip in, like, all right, mate, I'm talking to these two. And in the end, I just had to like front it and go, you don't fucking recognise me, do you, ignorant prick? And then obviously that always makes them go on the fucking back foot then going, oh shit, he's being aggressive, so I'll have to calm down.
And how did he handle you?
He just laughed and went, no. And I went, well, yeah, because you're ignorant. And then I made a joke about it, and then we had the bet on something. And then, so he ingratiate, what's the word?
Ingratiate? Is that the word?
Is that the word? I don't know.
Ingratiate? I've never
What's
heard
the
that
word?
word.
You not heard of that word? Ingratiate? Is it
No.
where you try and... Have I made that word up?
I would integrate you within the conversation.
No.
No. What
Sort
does
of.
ingratiate mean?
I don't
Sort
know.
of. I think I've made that word up.
No,
yeah.
it's a word. It is
I
a
think
word.
Ingratiate.
It's not... I think it is a word, but I think it's not that.
Yeah. Well, anyway. Yeah, we ended a little bet.
Does that happen to you a lot? Do you think you've got an unmemorable face, or is that just that time?
Bring oneself into favour with someone by flattering or trying to please them. So yeah, try and ingratiate yourself.
Sounds right. I'm clever.
Yeah. Right.
I knew the
Does that happen to me a lot?
Yeah.
It's happened to me twice in comedy. Paul McCaffrey done it once, and Ian Stone have done it.
Shout out McCaffrey.
Shout out McCaffrey and Stone. But I'm quite good at dealing with it because I'm abrasive and
That
stuff.
happens so often.
Yeah. No, because I'm abrasive and stuff, I just turn into a bully and then bully them for not remembering me, and then they sort of can't call me out for being a dickhead because they're the ones who were in the wrong in the first place, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So then I just, so it's all
You're
right.
always on.
Yeah.
I hate it when people don't remember me. There was this girl that I used to work with in Ann Summers for years and years. Actually, before she worked at Ann Summers, she used to go to the same drama school as me for ages, right? We grew up the same place. She must know who I am. She started Ann Summers acting like she know who I am. Whatever.
How long did you work with her for?
Worked with her for about 3 years, right?
Yeah.
And then I left the job, and about a year later, I saw her on the bus, and I was like, to be fair, I can't remember her name now, but I was like, she was like, yeah. But
You were with her for 3 years?
No, she was called Bethan, that was it. She's called Bethan.
Right,
She's a
okay.
bitch.
Shout out Bethan.
Sorry, Bethan.
Beth Man Summers.
Little Beth.
I was like, hiya, Bethan, you all right? And she was like, do I know you? And I was like, we've
what
known
a
each other
knobhead.
a lifetime. I think she used to just do it on purpose. And after that, she'd like my Facebook status.
After this
thing. Yeah.
That's such a knobhead move, that though.
It
Like,
is
do I know you? You just lie. You just pretend, yeah.
Do I know you?
Would you do that?
Never.
That's fucking weird.
Yeah, I'd just be like, I'd be there going, where do I know this person from?
I would say
Rack
what
on
I
the
would
head.
do is if it depends on how long this was going on for. If it was like just a hello, I go, oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Was it? Like that.
Yeah.
But then if we were sitting down and we're getting into it after like half an hour, I'd probably have to go like, I don't know, I'd deal with that. I'd be like, I would have to say something. I couldn't.
I'd just be asking probing questions.
I
Like,
think I'm really good at remembering people, but then people do come up and they're like, oh, we've met at like a random night in like Sheffield, and I'm like,
Yeah.
but I think I'm really
Are you
good
talking
at
about, like,
saving
comics?
it. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Well, like open mic
Right.
comics.
I
And then wearing that word like a loose garment.
Yeah.
And so they would be like, oh, we've met, and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, like very much play up the like, I'm a daft bitch, do you know?
Yeah.
I
I'm
get away with it
quite
very well.
good at remembering all comics I've gigged with at any point. But I imagine there are some now maybe that I haven't.
I think it was that one of those
I
situations.
gigged. I gigged with you with. I think we've gigged once together.
Yeah.
At Harry Stakini's gig.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, no. But then sometimes now, when I used to go to hot water, and that, I'd be like, I'm not sure whether we've
Yeah.
crossed paths or anything like that. So I have been in rooms where I've not recognised someone who. But I think if I've gigged with them and I've seen them, I'll remember them. If they're just a comic hanging out who's not on the bill or I haven't seen them, I'm probably not going to remember them. 'Cause
Yeah.
I matched with someone on like Bumble or Hinge or one of the places that you go today, and like someone that was in like the year below me.
Yeah.
And I was like, and so we matched. So mutual, like, you know.
Is Bumble the one where he has to message him first?
Yeah.
Right.
And then then I was like, oh, you were in the year below me in school. And he was like, oh, really? And then it was just like silence. And I was like, oh, wow. So just like outing myself at who I was in school.
That is
really was like an ick for him.
that would be my biggest fear in dating apps. Like,
What?
Just like, it's my biggest feeling in life, seeing
someone
anyone
that you
from
know.
school.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's like they
'Cause I
know
was
a
such a
different
loser.
version of
Yeah.
you. I
Yeah.
don't like
Yeah.
that.
No.
That's a range.
I'm like, that
door's
person that
shut.
you used to laugh at or you think is a gimp doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly.
So just fucking
Yeah,
like,
you've had to suppress it. haven't you? You really
exactly.
had to.
That's very much dark and in a way. I'm away from that. That he doesn't exist. Whoever you're thinking of now is an illusion.
Is a ghost.
So so just forget who that is, and we can meet again now.
Yeah.
But like at any time
Were
I
you
see,
that much of a gimp?
oh mate, anytime I see,
Yeah, I knew you were a gimp.
anytime I see anyone
I
from
knew you were
school
a
now, I'm literally there thinking they could be the nicest person in the world to me, and all I'm thinking is you think I'm a tit. You think I'm a fucking loser.
Yeah.
You think I'm a kid. That's just my thing. Like so
I suppose they'd look at me. I was never like the cool kid, but I was always able to sort of work my way around if I needed to.
That was very.
Although I got props for being on Dan's Last Dance thing, because so many people I went to school with that I haven't spoke to since school were like, "Oh my god, I saw you on that thing," and I was like, "Yeah," and I didn't get contact.
I've had one guy message me about stand up. That was it. No one from my school. Yeah.
Someone from my school.
No one's asked from
Someone from my school asked could he come in the green room once.
No
after
way.
I'd smashed that water.
Someone you weren't mates with?
No.
Someone I wasn't mates with, and I told them no.
See
Good
Smig.
on you.
What?
Good
on
No,
you.
to talk to me.
Right.
Someone from like, it was someone literally asked the show manager, "Can you ask Rob like to come out? Or can I ask Rob to come out? Or is it all right if I go back in there?" And someone's, "Oh, I'll ask them if it's all right." And I just said, "Just tell him I've got to go, so I can't."
That's such a power
And
move.
it was. I had
Such a
a hard on for days, like,
Yeah,
and then he
but-
messaged me on Facebook, and I went into like little request folder, and I looked at it, it's like,
Oh,
nah.
yes.
I'm
Right,
Nah.
some
looking
girl
at
that bullied me in school messaged me the other month and she'd watched me on the BBC thing.
Yeah.
This was like your fantasy
Amazing.
moment when you're in
Yeah.
school and pick her, you're like, one day I'm going to be on the telly and you're going to be like, oh
Yeah.
my God. And
Just forget. Did it go out on TV?
yeah,
It did,
yeah.
didn't it?
On TV as well.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't
yeah.
just iPlayer.
It
I
was on
swear,
telly.
yeah.
It was on BBC One. So she went, oh, I watched you. You were very funny or something. And I was like, what do I do now? Because this is my dream moment. If I got anything out of doing that, just this moment
Yeah.
for her to
Yeah.
be like, she went, you look like you're doing amazing. I'm not, but I want her to think
Yeah,
that. Do you know what I
yeah.
mean? She thinks I'm living my best life. I'm like, sick.
Getting blanked on the bus by people you used to work
Yeah,
with.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, I was like, what do I do now? Because if I reply, it's sad. Like,
Yeah.
I'll look like I'm bothered.
How bad did she bully you? Was she like just not a nice, or did she go for you?
She wasn't the main bully, but she was definitely like,
In the
she
gang.
laughed a lot and
Yeah.
said stuff, but she
Right,
wasn't the
okay.
boss.
She was what did they call it? She was an enabler.
Yes.
She enabled the
100%.
main bully sort of thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
but that's survival, though, isn't it? You got to laugh at the
yeah,
bully
it is.
because
But
it's like
when
there
you're
for
the
grace of
when
God.
you're the
Like-
victim,
Yeah, oh
You're
yeah,
like,
the
oh,
victim.
man.
The victim has the victim
Yeah.
go, but they go, listen, he was gonna. They were coming for me. If it wasn't you, it was me.
Yeah.
Which is a coward's way out. Which is
you
the
know,
worst thing.
someone said that to me
But
now. I'd appreciate the. I go, fair enough. Yeah,
What if they
fair
just
enough.
went,
I'd appreciate the
"We
honesty.
thought he was a knobhead
rather than
as
like,
well."
oh, I never bullied you. Yeah, but you watched it and you laughed. So yeah, I'd appreciate the honesty.
No, it's
going,
despicable.
listen, I laughed and all that because I was scared it was going to be me. So
I think it is
I'd have gone,
despicable.
yeah,
It
fair
makes me
enough.
sick, and sometimes I will think about times I went, "Oh, you cunt,"
Yeah,
because I didn't have any spine.
yeah,
But-
yeah.
But I just had to do it. Sorry, go on.
Well, yeah, I didn't end up replying. I
You didn't.
But because it was in the requests,
Yeah.
it doesn't look like. She don't know if I've opened it or not.
Yeah.
Is it? That's.
Oh, well, yeah, she will. 'Cause she's obviously the biggest fan.
Have you opened it?
Yeah, I have, but because
it's
I've
seen.
not. But
No,
because
because she
it's
hasn't moved it to primary.
Oh, is it
I think.
Instagram?
Yeah.
yeah, so it's in a
Right.
request thing, and it says if I click request, then she'll know I've opened it. So I
Yeah.
didn't click that.
That's good. She should have got you on Facebook Messenger then, because that you
Yeah.
can't see that one,
Yeah.
can you?
That's
The power move is just fucking
Do you
ignore
think
it,
that was the
like.
best thing to do? What would
Yeah,
you have
100%.
So
done?
you've ignored
See,
it.
I'm a
Not
people
replied.
pleaser, so I would double tap.
Really? I
Just
was
like
I was
a
nearly gone,
little-
and then I
little
was
love
like,
heart.
what the
No
heck?
words or nothing.
With a little
Yeah,
love.
that's
That
a
is
bit of a
quite
flex.
powerful, actually. Yeah.
I think
It's
the
like, I
flex-
ain't got no time for
Yeah.
you, but I see.
It's
I
a
see
very
you.
like
Letting them know
Yeah.
you've seen it. Yeah, that's the flex. I
being
think.
like, oh, thank you for your support, but I'm not
Without
you're not
even
getting
having
any
to
words
say
from
it.
me.
Send a link to your Patreon.
yeah.
There you go. Just no
Yeah.
words. Just send a link
Yeah.
with the emoji eyes.
Yeah.
That's why.
You know you owe me reparations.
Any bullies sliding in the DMs nowadays, trying
I
to.
just loved the fact that when I left school, like it was the thing that people were saying, like the bullies are the people who like peaked in high school.
Yeah.
Like they're not Like,
Yeah.
And I just
Well, you
love
are
that
gonna
because
peak
it's
in-
so fucking true. Like,
That, you don't think that at the time, though, do you? You think they've got
course
life
you do.
made.
No.
It's not until like you're fucking 26 and you look back and you
But
go,
I think
oh, get it.
Yeah.
Like,
everybody's
you fucking
life
losers.
tends to get shitter after school.
Mine never.
Because
I'm
well, yeah, maybe not
Are you
yours.
joking?
No, but like it's like life. Just you got to start working and paying for things,
Yeah.
and it just naturally gets shitter because
Yeah.
there's just stuff you've got to now do.
Yeah.
At school, it was literally just like you can't drive. None of you can do this, do that.
Yeah.
You're just stuck. So you're all sort of level playing field, and then when you get jobs and people can get better jobs and better things, and the other ones go, and then it starts to shift a bit. So I think that I don't know how we got onto that. What was I saying then?
About popular people and peaking in
About
high
how, like,
school.
all the bullies
But you
tend to pick
disagree
to
with
high
that. You say that we're all on a level playing
We
field
never
in
be.
high school.
That was all of our peaks,
and then
basically.
and then we all go lower. It's like
I think what happened was you were like, life does not get better. And then what you started to suggest was, listen, Alex, yeah, they might not bully you anymore, but life does not get better,
Yeah.
okay? It gets harder every single fucking day.
For anyone
Yeah.
struggling, it doesn't get better.
Yeah, that's the message. And if you're listening to this now,
Different people start fucking you.
yeah.
From the bullies to the HMRC to someone like...
Status quo.
What would I have done? I don't know. If a bully messaged me on the gram,
No, I think the best move is let them know you've seen it. but
always
don't
in my
reply.
views, never on me likes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've had the worst, one of the biggest bullies I had. He was in the front row once of a comedy show.
Were you actually bullied? Or just like the bullies used
I was
to?
just the victim.
But did
So
you
it
get,
was not like no one ever like physically harmed me.
it
or
wasn't a
nothing.
targeted attack on you
Yeah,
daily,
no,
was it?
yeah.
It was.
But it wasn't like a malicious target. It wasn't
Not
like
the kid from Holy Family. Not
no,
him.
No, this is
just a
like
nutter,
this is
right?
merchants. This.
Right.
It wasn't like
Did you go to Merchant Taylor's?
yeah.
They were?
Yeah. He never mentions it.
Does he not?
Every pod.
Every second paragraph he fucking comes out with that one.
What is this? Is it a school?
He's
It's
privately
the,
educated, wasn't
It's
he?
a private school.
That's
I
school
know.
Northwest.
I know.
And you got bullied in the private school.
Yeah. Well, if you listen to the podcast, you'll know why. Had a very poor first day.
Yeah.
I went in with a working class attitude. It didn't go down well.
He tried. Oh, it's so cringe.
I went in and tried to flex like I was an hard knock, and they all just laughed at me like, "This is."
Someone asked him who he was, and he said, "I'm your worst nightmare." But they never heard him. So they asked him again, and then he went, "I'm your worst nightmare." They still didn't hear him, and then he just said, "My name's Rob."
It was all,
And they went,
Amazing.
and then they said, "I'm your worst nightmare."
Yeah.
Back to you, did they?
I was.
They
It
didn't
was
do
all
that.
my
I don't
worst.
like them to do that. though. What? I heard you the first time, you knobhead.
That is so
Get
was
out
all-
of here with your scholarship.
It was my own doing, but like, yeah, it wasn't.
Oh.
No, so it wasn't targeted, but I was just the victim.
Yeah,
So it was all,
I
like
would
every
say that I
day
got
someone was going to
picked
say
on,
something.
but
Yeah,
not
Right.
bullied. Bullied seems very.
like I couldn't walk down
It
the
seems
hall. without-
really vicious, doesn't
Yeah.
it? when
if I
you
walked down the hall,
leave?
certain people every single time something would happen. Like, even when it's just like a remark or something.
Right.
So I was never like.
dead leg or something.
No, yeah, even it was just some sort of snide remark. Like
Right.
I was never in peace. I would say.
Never at peace. in
Yeah, I
school.
was
See,
never
I would
at
imagine
peace
you
in
to
school.
just like been one of the ones that they'll bully, but then you'll just hit one of them, and then they would have stopped.
No, that was the problem. I was a shit house then as well. It's like I wish I'd done that.
Right.
And like if that had happened now,
Do you ever get in the shower and just get really angry about it?
Oh,
Sometimes,
yeah.
You go,
Like I say,
should have fucking nothing.
that lad,
bit his fucking nose off.
that lad was in the front of my gig one time, and I know he like
Sat there on.
he'd left
purpose as a
school
power
early.
move.
No, he'd left school early. He's just a fucking loser. And I remember just sitting there thinking, just say hello to me.
Yeah.
Just at any point tonight, say hello to me, and I'm going to tear you a new arsehole. And he just sat there fucking quiet.
Really?
And he'd come with another comic.
So he
Slagging
might
you
not
off and what's
remembered you.
No, he did, because all the whole table led on to me.
Right, yeah.
Like the whole table said hello. Like, and that
Who's
was
the other comic?
it was. Do you ever remember that? It was well before your time. David Airy, his name was. And
Oh, I've recognised his name from like a hot water
Yeah.
bill from ages ago.
yeah, it was like before your time.
He
So
was mates with him.
because he went to my school as well,
Oh, did
so he was mates with him. Yeah.
In and out comics. Wow.
Well, they were. Yeah.
Merchants.
They
in
did,
and
yeah.
out comics.
It's because we're all very
Shite ones.
arrogant. Yeah. So he come with him one time, and I'd decided you say anything to me, I'm just gonna fucking go. Like, just gonna fucking rip you in your arsehole, and then if you try and say anything back, I'll just knock you out. And then like he just spent the whole time just sat on the table quivering. Like, you could just tell he was avoiding. Like, even like when I was on stage, you could tell he was avoiding looking at me.
Yeah.
And like the rest of the table said hello. Like the rest of the
Too
table,
busy on WhatsApp slagging you off.
Yeah.
The other bullies.
No, I don't mean the group
That
chat.
fucking cunt from there.
Not funny. I don't know why he's doing this shit for. Yeah, but like I remember, and then, but I know. I think he was going through a hard time. Like I think,
Right.
I think
See,
there was a
never
reason.
gets easier.
There was a reason why he was a bully.
Yeah,
Not then.
Told you, Alex.
Not then. At school, I think he was going through a hard time. Because he left early. I don't think his home life was great. So I imagine that it just got worse.
Often's the way,
progressively
though,
worse and worse, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But that's what I told myself in my head.
So
his life probably fell apart now.
Yeah, or maybe he's flying. Who knows?
Yeah, no, he was
so
definitely not flying.
was yours a targeted?
Yeah, I did get proper bullied, mate.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like I remember got strangled and like pulled to the.
Oh shit! Yours was like violent.
He's in prison
not...
now though, not for that. But.
Oh, a male bully.
Yeah, lad.
Wow.
Yeah. I went to like this school in Salford. It was a bit.
Rough.
It was quite rough, but you know, but it was. But also, I was
male on female bullying. That's
You don't
heavy.
hear it as
That.
often.
Yeah, I don't think. Well,
Because that's
never saw
odd,
it.
especially if a female bullying a male.
yeah.
A male bullying a female
Yeah.
seems like, how'd you get away with that?
Yeah, that happened a lot there, really. I think,
Physical.
but yeah.
Shit.
I know, but tough nut now. So it's
Yeah.
alright, but
I'm fucking nothing. I'm nothing now. Like.
yeah. I want one of them moments where, like, because I think I was like, oh, actually, what happened is I got bullied, but I was dead quiet, and I was like, a bit weird and that.
Yeah.
But my family were like, my nana found out that this girl was bullying me, and her dad owned this like pub in Earlham or whatever, and they found out, and like that side of family a bit rough and that, and my nana and my uncles went to this pub, the Tiger Moth.
Send the fame round.
Went in and said, because I think the girl said she was like, I'm going to stab you after school or something. And I ran away. And then I told my mum, and then they went in. And then I don't really know what happened, but my nana said something that made the dad have a heart attack. He had a heart attack then.
Your nana's not a gypsy, is she?
No, but
With a little chair, so the fucking...
So
My nana started speaking in tongues, and then the next thing he had a heart attack.
it's mad that, and then she never spoke to me again.
Hang on. You genuinely saying that was the cause, like, or is it just
Well, that's what I heard.
right?
But I never spoke to my nana about it.
I just imagine
And
watching this
she-
scene from afar, where you just see them conversing, and then he just goes like that.
Yeah,
what's
go
going
in.
on
It's
there?
like,
Yeah, like,
how
she's
dare
straight
you?
on him.
Heart attack.
No, he didn't die. He didn't die. Still going. But yeah, I remember she was like, I always thought she was a scary, and then like I'd see her like when I was walking, she'd like look away, and I was like, I felt like I had this power suddenly, but I didn't have to do anything.
Have an heart
So
attack.
yeah, like
Molly's
and
just
then-
like Spider-Man looking at her going,
yeah, like,
"With great
now,
power comes great
Casey. In
responsibility."
case Molly gives me something, I'm gonna have a heart attack now.
but I think it gave me false confidence later on in life.
So your
I
nan,
could walk
your
through
nan went
anything
in,
though.
said something to the dad.
Yeah.
Who then
My nana threatened. My nana's a bit mad, to be fair. She threatened him. I think my uncle was there, and then the dad had a heart attack.
You know,
Yeah.
was your uncle hard case?
Yeah.
Was
yeah.
he?
Yeah.
Nana
Love to have
McGuinness.
But
seen
not,
You
no.
know?
Yeah. Well, this is Nana Frieda. She got, yeah. But yeah, big shout to Nana Frieda.
yeah,
but
shout out now.
yeah, never spoke to
John
me again.
Frieda.
None of the
You want
others
on
did.
your side?
None of the others did. Must have word of mouth.
Stay away
And,
from the Friedas
never
round
got-
Salford.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's amazing.
yeah.
So she went in just heavy that.
No,
And did the
no.
bullying stop?
Yeah, nothing.
So just on that
Yeah,
one
and then
thing.
to be fair, there was another girl that was mean to me, so my dad bricked her window. So she didn't say anything. So I was one of them where I was dead innocent and sweet,
Yeah.
but like they did my dirty work. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? And then I would come in like like I was like dead into SpongeBob, like my SpongeBob pencil case, like just not
Yeah.
speaking to anyone with like Green Day on and stuff. And
I had that.
that's how you get. That's how you do it.
I had that a couple of times. My half fellow was like that. Someone battered me on a school bus, and it was like 2 years older. And the next thing my dad found is dad's number. I don't know how. Like knew someone who knew him, I was like, calling him up, said, listen, like, that ever happens again, I'll fill you in, sort of thing, to the dad. And he come and apologise the next day. So when I was in Holy Family, I think that's the difference, though, because I think that was all just like interaction, like fucking, just like one-off things. But when the merchant thing, it was just like, I was just a fucking loser. It was like, couldn't tell me that I was getting, because it wasn't really like getting attacked or anyone like hit me or nothing like that. It was all just very much sort of fucking, I was just a loser, and I felt a loser, sort of thing. Whereas like the Holy Family stuff, so my dad done that once. He called someone up and was like, listen, I'll leather you if your son goes near my son again. And this lad come in the next day and like apologised or something for what else. I was like, oh, get in, come meet me.
It's so good, and it's not the thing that like travels well, like in terms of kids, like usually are like, you know, well, I'll have like a word with their parent or whatever, but you only ever really find out that it was like threatening.
Yeah.
It goes on, you're like, it works.
Yeah.
Being part of the mafia works.
I remember a woman in our primary school hitting these two lads that were bullying her son.
Wow.
She got banned from the playground or something. But these two are nasty bastards. These two, of all the bullies, like these two are horrible
I
kids.
think that now, though. I think now I've got a kid, I'll smack
Yeah, my
a kid.
sister says all the time, I don't give a fuck.
I would. I think it takes a lot not to fucking.
You know what? So I obviously work in the hospital, and the other week I was bleeding a patient, and he was non-verbal and not.
When you say bleeding, do you mean like taking blood out of his vein, or just being like a nurse, just like robbing like a vulnerable elderly person, like?
No.
Like, so listen,
stand-up needs to start working with all that. We're all going through the pockets of people in hospital.
I'm going to sign you up to me science podcast Patreon. That's what you want, don't you?
Just robbing people's phones and just signing up to the Patreon.
But yeah, so I was taking blood out of his arm, venipuncture, all that. And he was non-verbal, but he was like letting me know he really wasn't happy about it.
Yeah.
And he punched me twice in the head.
In the head?
In the head. I've never been punched as an adult.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like...
How old was he?
Like 60. But like, so obviously my family were like, are you okay? And I was like, thanks guys. Like it feels like I've been punched in the head, but I'll survive. Like, it's okay. I did go home and have a nap, and I was like, this could be concussion, and I won't wake up. But I was like, fine, obviously. And my granddad hit, so my granddad's 81, and my granddad was like, what's his name? And I was like, no. He's not verbal.
OAP, bare knuckle boxing, mate. I'd pay to watch that.
Honestly, I was like, very vulnerable man, and he was like, what ward was he on? I was like, no. From me, I was like, calm down, simmer down.
Were they proper digs, or were they just like little?
No, it was like twice.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, and then.
But why are they sending
HCA to do his other arm? They did tell me going into it he's very aggressive.
So why did they let you do that? Why didn't they send two people in there in case?
Well, so the nurse did hold his arm. I was going in.
Right, but no one had hold of
his other arm. We forgot that he could use that. So.
I think if they know he's aggressive, they shouldn't be sending anyone in there without saying, do you want someone to come in and restrain him or something?
The NHS is dying, my darling. There's no bodies.
That's why I vote Tory. Is it all catching on now? I vote Labour, but I am Tory.
It's your fault you got punched.
I vote Labour, but I am Tory. That's what I am.
Vote Labour, live Tory.
I get that on a t-shirt, yeah. I'm only because you tell me it enough times now that I'm now going.
You believe it?
Yeah. You tell someone something enough times and start to believe it.
Tory, have you got Tory beliefs?
No. I'm too. Of course, I'm Labour, innit?
He's just got money, and
he just accuses me of being some like fucking prince. That he thinks I'm just some sort of like Saudi prince who's got like this endless amount of wealth, like that. And then he just calls me a Tory, and that's it really. So. I mean, I'll have to go on Instagram and do me ballot next time I'm there to go look. I mean, and they'll just be going towards us. I'm like,
that's illegal though. So if they find you and then your vote's not counted, and then we'll get.
Yeah, that's why he'll do it. So his vote doesn't get. It's gonna be like, look, everyone, it's Labour. It's Labour.
How is it?
Void.
Yeah.
So it's illegal, but there's not an adapt and it should be a void.
So if they found, like, obviously enough people, like, I don't know, like, I don't know why I'm viewing.
You literally go like you know the scum when they vote. You know what they're like
on Instagram and Snapchat back in the day. Like people would.
So you trying to suggest Molly would take a picture of her thing?
Why would Molly?
She's one of them. She's one of them millennials.
That we're younger.
She might be Tory. You never know.
We are.
You never know what Molly might be doing.
But I just feel like people went through a phase of like Instagram, Snapchat. I voted, and they would show the vote.
But was it all right then?
But if people,
but you can't do it anymore.
No, you've never been allowed to do it.
You're never allowed
like,
to do that.
if someone found out and they went, your ballot is spoiled, essentially. So then they would discount it. But I don't know if you'd ever find out.
I think the thing is, though, I think that's one of them ancient, like one of them laws that hasn't progressed with society, has it? Because it was meant to be like.
But what about if?
Well, I think they've
how do they prove it?
It can't be that old. Showing their voting.
It can't be that old of a for social media.
No, but it wasn't for social media.
How would they prove it's your vote?
It was for like showing you weren't allowed to show or spoil your ballot. Like if you were to show someone your ballot, it was a spoiled ballot. Because
if you bought it
the idea was that you'd be using it to encourage other people to vote. So it's like, which is probably even more the case now on Instagram. An influencer done it.
You're
encouraging other people, even though you're allowed to encourage other people to vote. So I don't know why.
What did you say then?
I was saying, like, if you get it from home and it has like your name and address on it, and then it has the boxes, then they can know it's your ballot. What
about if you videoed it, waited a year, and then posted the one that you did from the other year? Because if you just make sure the date doesn't get
you don't even probably have to wait a year and just wait like 24 hours.
Yeah, literally. It gets announced that night. So.
What do you mean?
Well, it gets announced that night who's won. So you literally have to wait 24 hours.
Like but next year's
but you want to do it as before it's done. Yeah, next year's vote. So when you go, I'm going to vote. Boom, there's the video of me voting.
But it's every 4 years though, innit? So it's like it's a long
wait, mate.
It's a long wait.
I can do it.
I don't think I've got photos on my phone from 4 years ago.
I've got everything documented. 2011. I go back to 2011.
Unless you vote in your local election, isn't that every year?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, something like that then. I don't know. There's no way for to prove is there what you vote. You might be voting Tory for all you know.
For all you know, it could be.
Exactly.
But the numbers in Bootle suggest no.
I don't know what was.
There's 200 Tory voters in the whole of Bootle.
Is there?
Wow.
Yeah.
See, they exist.
How many people are
they
in Bootle?
exist.
I think it was like 80,000.
Oh wow.
Yeah. It was I think it was the second strongest majority for Labour.
In Liverpool?
No, in the whole country.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it
was like 90% or something stupid like that.
Whereabouts in Liverpool are you
based?
Egbert.
Well, I'm not now. I'm Hunts Cross now. So like May 4.
Where did you go to school?
The speak bracket. So I went to
because how quick she picked up on merchants and knew she'd also gone to some sort of private school.
I went to private school and then I went like back in. I did the opposite of you.
Right.
So then I went to.
What do you mean? How quickly she picked up on private? Like she went, private. Like
no, when you went to merchants, it's like. It's the whole
like Gossip Girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at me and Molly sitting here going.
The whole school tight. You could see her eyes were like, oh, one of them was your school was better than mine.
Put her on Team Was just to try and make it not as horrible. Stick you two together. Yeah. Is that camp? That doesn't matter.
So what school did you go to?
So I went to Liverpool College, but I was on a scholarship as well.
Yeah.
Great. And then I went to Eddie's for sixth form.
But Eddie's is still was used to be sort of private.
It's not private, and it wasn't.
Eddie's like St Edward's was it was a private school. It wasn't a private school. Yeah. So it had entrance exams and all that. Like,
so a grammar school.
Yeah, like an old style grammar. It's basically it was like one of them was like we got entrance exams and we're making sure the riffraff don't come in, but no one has to pay. They had some sort of special loophole.
Both of those schools that I went to are now like an academy or whatever.
Yeah.
But when I went there, the primary school was still private, but it's not now.
For where? For Liverpool? Eddie's, right. Yeah. I got knocked back from Eddie's.
Pardon?
I got knocked back from Eddie's, yeah.
To be fair, I'm surprised I got in there for sixth form, but like...
Mine was year 7, so I went to Holy Family.
I got in then.
So I went to like what are they called? A comprehensive.
Yeah. I
went to Holy Family for 2 years and then Merchants. So when the only one I tried for in year 6 was St Eddie's and they knocked me back.
And that's a private school?
No, but it's like a grammar sort of like...
Yeah.
Pick and choose who goes in.
There's loads of them in there, these schools.
Well, Liverpool is very like religious as well. So like Eddie's is really Catholic.
Right.
Liverpool College though was quite like they didn't really did the Lord's Prayer, but we were like, we're not fucking going for
merchants did that. They had like they would do some sort of masses or prayers, but really the school was multicultural and it was all very much there was no faith in no faith in like put into you sort of thing, because
you didn't have to go to the church for.
I had to have had my confirmation, communion, and all that bollocks.
Confirmation.
Yeah, I'm Catholic as well. Are you Catholic? Well, grew up
raised
Catholic.
Roman Catholic, yeah.
Did you go Catholic?
Quite strong, quite strict.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Cause
I know.
Yeah. Was you Roman Catholic as well? Yeah,
very
all
much
four of us.
lapsed now.
Oh yeah.
No prodigies in this fucking fuck the proddy podcast.
I don't know what I.
Fenians, that's what we all are. The Fenian special.
Although to be fair, my sisters obviously like got little small people like as well, and
you would the way you're pointing at me, and I was like, what? Where's the link between me and your sister there?
Yeah,
small people.
Like
it means she has children.
Oh
kids,
right. Okay.
Well, at least they're like, what? Don't know you're allowed to own them. Where'd you get them from?
Your sister's got them as well. Where'd you keep them?
That's little.
What, you feed yours?
Yeah. Yeah, we got ours from Asia as well. Kids. Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
edit that out,
you
Dean.
have to like, if you want them to go to certain schools, you have to like baptise them in some way.
Yeah, my lad got christened just so we could go to the local school.
So they still have it like that? Because I thought that was like old school.
It's on its way out, but it's still it's like it's in certain cities, and it's the church's last remaining fucking grip in it.
Yeah.
So that's the last thing they want to give up, sort of thing.
You know
so
what,
like,
though? Can I just say? So I hope that no one who was involved in my niece's school watches this podcast. Want everyone else to, but just none of them. So my niece was baptised Christian because my brother-in-law's Christian, and it was like it's easier to convert to that way rather than communion. You can be like,
just baptised.
Yeah. So she did that when she was like a year or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when my sister, my niece got like a random school, like really fucking far away for her allocation. So my sister was like, people said to her, apply for a Catholic school because you're more likely to get in.
Yeah.
So my niece is 4.5 and has been baptised twice as a Christian and a Catholic. And a mate of mine was like, honestly, next time I speak to you on the phone, I'm wondering, I know, I'm wondering if you're going to be like, so Tilly's Jewish.
Maybe she can bring them both together though. You know, like,
he's Muhammad. He's Muhammad when he's not in school. Muhammad and Michael. What's my name?
But yeah,
just call your Mo, lad. Right? Just Mo.
That's what we'll call it.
But yeah, so they didn't mention that obviously when they applied for the new school. Like,
is that legal?
It's like getting married. It's like getting married multiple times.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, is it legal? Or like
religion?
Oh yeah, maybe not. And then maybe
fraud.
My sister
just frowned upon. Yeah, it's just fraud. A little bit of fraud. Nothing wrong with that. No, I'm done.
A little bit of religious fraud.
No, I'm done with a bit of fraud.
Oh my God, my sister will go to prison. I'll be like, I'm so sorry, it was just a joke.
So sorry, but I need the material, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's just jokes. I don't care about you. Yeah. But yeah, no, she'll, you know, she's thriving, loving her school.
So the schools that you've got to be.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because again, certain things in life, Simon doesn't understand. This is why I call Simon a Tory, because there's certain things in life he doesn't understand. It's like, because he's middle class, he's like, really? That happens? And I'm like, yeah. So like the podcast that's going out now, Chris Keogh, it's been out for a few weeks now if you're watching this. He's like, we're talking about like buying razor blades in the pub and like cheese. And he's like, really? That happens? Really? Someone buys things that have been robbed by really? I just don't believe that happens. And now, because he's too middle class,
I live in a densely buy cheese off a smackhead. What's wrong with that?
Yeah,
it is mad that people do.
I'm not buying cheese off a smackhead.
You are? I bet you any money you will do one.
Maybe if someone offered me
exactly,
and it was still cold.
Exactly.
But I still go, what's he done to this on the way to and from the shop?
Do they still do that? So people don't still sell cheese in the pub?
It's tagged,
not as much anymore. Like it's a dying trade. But yeah, but like, so like, again now, because he's too middle class to understand what densely populated areas must be like to get in schools. He's like, really?
What do you mean?
Really, that happens?
I know how hard it is to get in school. Yeah.
It is hard though. It's hard graph.
Yeah, I'm sure I went to like Catholic high school, but my mum and dad were Catholic, but I hadn't had my Holy Communion.
You didn't go to a Catholic primary school then?
Didn't go to Catholic primary school. But then they wanted me to go Catholic high school because it was a good one. So I think I had to like write a letter to the priest, like begging for them to let me in. And then when I got in, I was allowed. I was obviously allowed in, but I wasn't allowed to eat the bread.
Right.
And that, so.
But there's sort of like other ones like C of E. Is it C of E where
That's
you don't
Church
have
of
to go
England.
to the church? You know, because certain things, like if I don't know what it's like now, but you know, you want to get married, and they used to you got to go for 6 months every week,
That's
and then
just
you can
Christian, though, I think.
No,
They're not ours, Christians.
Roman Catholics make you go to church. Like.
Yeah,
but C of E, you can get baptised in the church of C of E without ever going, can't you?
Yeah, well, because they're very dead.
See, that's what I was talking about.
Because that's just all bullshit,
you let me
innit?
speak. Just gawk me in with your fucking big stupid voice.
You know. You just don't understand things. Some things you've never had to experience.
Oh, here we go.
But that's because Church of England's all bullshit, though, innit? You know, come on. Prosy bastards. Because Henry VIII wanted another wife. They didn't take things seriously, but yeah. Roman
Shouts out any C of E's, by the way. Fuck Bobby T.
Roman Catholics, they still make you go there before, like.
C of E with a red cross.
No, my family is like so religious. Like
really?
Like
they're still going with it.
So I would say like me and my mum, my dad, and like all of us, like we're not religious.
Little
really,
black sheeps.
I guess so. My dad's one of 7, and his mum was really, really religious.
Yeah.
Like he broke his wrist when he was like 12, and she was going to Lourdes for the first time. And
that's
she,
classic, Catholic family.
She would normally never, ever, like, you know, if a child was injured, she was move heaven and earth. She was that type of person.
Trying to put the mic a little bit closer.
But it was like...
I just think every now and then it was dropping out.
But it was like, oh yeah, I forget you've got headphones on.
Yeah. Oh. So yeah, I have to keep these on to stop me from saying something I regret on the mic. Otherwise, I feel like I'm in the green room. If I take them off, I go, oh no, I don't like this.
Like,
feels too free.
I get
too comfy.
Yeah.
Reminds me he's on a podcast. That's why you keep them on.
And so basically she was like, do you think you'll be okay, Michael? And my dad was like, yeah, I'm going. So like the liver's like, and she went to Lourdes, and in the end, one of his siblings took him to the hospital and he had broken his wrist. Yeah. But other than that, like they are like quite religious throughout my family. My
mum is one of 5, and her mum, so my grandma was really religious.
Yeah.
Like, so I was telling you on the podcast, like every Sunday and stuff like that. My grandma once went on a campaign in our house to get me confirmed, because I wasn't going to get confirmed in school automatically, and because she like took it on mission. She'd come round every week, and we're like, why is she coming around so often? And then we realised,
confirmation's
because she literally was coming round to just keep like on at me to try and convince me to get confirmed. Like coming around with sweets and like eclairs and all the good stuff.
I got confirmed
custards that I liked and all stuff like that. Going
Alton Towers.
Why do you
got confirmed? You got to go to Alton Towers.
That's
such
the way.
A good payoff.
If she'd have said that to me, I'd have probably gone. Yeah.
No, not like just my family taking me. Everyone who got confirmed got a trip to Alton Towers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like 13, I think we were. Oh, hang on, we were still in primary school. I can't
no, it's high school, like 13.
Right, yeah. Yeah, it was Maximus was the confirmation name.
It was the only thing we got.
What, for Gladiator?
Is that what
you're horrible? You're horrible.
I've been a Yadar since then, mate. I got confirmed as Yadar.
Yadar since pubes, mate.
Did you have to explain why you picked
Simon Yadar, wasn't he?
It's got to be from the Bible.
Yeah, because I picked Helen because it was like Helena. It was like a My Chemical Romance song. So I was like, it's similar. But then when I did it, the priest went, why have you picked her? What did she do? Saying,
oh yeah, you got to go the same.
And I was like, oh, she's just such a good person. Right, like, I didn't even read it. Like,
what did she do? Nothing. That's why I like it. She never sinned once.
Yeah. It probably says so much about my brain, but I was just buzzing that I could like pick my own name.
Yeah, it was a bit funky, which is why I went with Maximus.
Yeah,
That is a
it
sick
is
one
a
to
bit cool.
pick.
Yeah, lads,
Why
Why didn't you start going as that? You know, like some people go
Cosmates.
as the middle names and that. Like,
Oh, well, I
Because it's not on it. It's not on
Sorry,
documents,
Max,
is it?
Maximus, wasn't you?
Max.
Your next
that
act.
is sick.
Maximus, wasn't you?
No,
You're like one of the people who demands full names as well. No, don't shorten it. Don't shorten it.
Yeah, no, it's not on anything official, is it? That's why it's a shit house one. You
know-
can choose whatever.
You start using it, or you just put it on. Like,
Yeah, you just
You
write
can,
it.
You
Just,
can do, but because you got to change it with the bank and the doctor.
You know,
and
I'm
all
surprised that
Yeah.
it didn't start hitting home that I was an alcoholic, because I genuinely was like,
so you an alcoholic when you're getting confirmed?
no.
Necking the wine in the old
No,
Get some of
well,
that
that's
bread
the
to
thing.
soak it.
I only got a communion because I was on the wine at 5.
Yeah, no, to be fair, I literally said to my mum, I was like, do you think it's out of order to ask the priest where that wine's from? And she was like, yeah. But it's like mad that it didn't.
What is
yeah,
it?
of course
Here's
there's
wine.
wine.
It's just bulk bought cheap shit wine. It's like 5%.
Why did you like the taste? Were you like,
Yeah,
Yeah, I used to like the taste.
Oh, I'd love
yeah.
it.
I used to think it went well together. I used to think the bread and the wine went well together. Honestly, did.
It's a little treat.
Yeah.
my
We're having communion.
Like the bread stuck to the top of your top of your mouth. I got a little bit of wine, wash it back.
I used to pretend to do it with milky buttons, you know, when you couldn't do it. You know, it's like, I want to have some of the
That's
bread.
way
I just used to get a little fucking one of them.
Yeah.
Some of the bread on, pop it in the gob and just let it like a skip. Just let it sing.
I used to hate.
skips would be a good one, wouldn't they?
I used to do
Yeah,
a
well,
skip
you
as
fizz on
well.
your tongue.
better,
I
yeah.
pretend I was getting it like the body of Christ there with the milky button and that.
I used to have to close my eyes and not look at the wine because I don't know if you ever looked in the fucking wine. It was always shit. Like knock you for sick.
It's like
I used to go just close my eyes, just
When
drink
you
it,
think
just drink
about
it
it was
because it's got
gassy,
fucking
wasn't
it?
bits
Yeah,
in.
it's like
load of
fucking
old comes
Edna.
with the false teeth.
Edna's 85 and not put a teeth
Got
in.
the
It's just fucking
fucking
gone
scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
going,
right back out
That
into
is
the
like
wine.
it.
You're like, and you'd watch them fucking wipe the lip. And you go, no, don't wipe the lip.
Yeah.
Replace the fucking
and then
liquid.
twist it a little
Yeah.
bit. And
Oh, you know what? You've done your. I'm off. I've been put off it now for life.
Yeah.
So thanks.
It's
the
alright.
idea of it being it's
No,
disgusting.
you can probably just buy it now on Amazon.
You think
Oh,
about
yeah.
it.
Just
My dad-
communion wine on
My
Amazon.
dad robbed the priest wine when he was a kid. Like he got in the bat and they both drank it and ended
Yeah.
up like really pissed and got found.
They robbed it.
The wine in the church.
Was he an
Really?
altar boy?
I don't know.
My
prob-
dad was an altar
Might
boy.
have been, yeah. But they went round the back and drank it, and he got a good hiding for it. But
Did
like,
they? Yeah. Good old
yeah.
days.
Off
innit?
the
Yeah, the
priest
good
or
old
off your- off
days.
his dad.
Yeah, the police or the priest. Who was
Yeah,
it?
you give him a
The
hand.
priest.
Did he?
Yeah, yeah.
They were allowed to back in that day.
Yeah.
The naughty men
Yeah, yeah,
priests.
yeah.
aren't they?
Yeah, fucking the power.
The naughty men.
The power they had.
You
Fucking
think
hell.
about being shocked that the priest hit someone. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, well,
Yeah,
of course he did.
That they did what the fuck they wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. You could see why you'd want to be a priest back in the day because everyone loves them.
Oh yeah, just you adored
Yeah.
like all
You
the.
get a house and that, don't you? Like you.
Yeah,
It used to be a boss house as well.
And
Yeah,
not like
it's
a
a nice
crib.
house.
They're all
big garden.
goosing as well.
Yeah.
They're all goosing as well. They are. I know they pretend they're not, but they definitely are. I know they goose the boys, but they're goosing bears as well.
Yeah, they've got to be. Because they're quite charmers, aren't they, with the ladies and that?
Yeah.
Like the
Oh,
older
they are.
ladies.
But like, if you think
turning
about
up
it,
with
they're
the
gigging
best
7 days a
spray
week.
on.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
gonna get good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people, like what people say about Paul Smith. Oh, we only got good 'cause he gigs 7 nights a week. Like, well, you're gonna get good, aren't you? Doing that many mass
Alan
sometimes.
Finnegan.
Doubling on a Sunday,
Yeah.
Saturday night, 2
Nipping
double.
off to our ladies after this to close the 2 p.m. show.
I was doing a gig the other week actually, and someone mentioned, you know, there was a guy on Britain's Got Talent, and he was a priest, but he was like
Finnegan.
Yeah.
comedian. Oh, was it
Bullies,
him?
you reckon it was?
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Never in the years.
someone went.
Oh, yeah.
Someone said, "Oh, he has a gig every Sunday.
Yeah.
He gigs every Sunday." And I was like, "Shut up, does he?" And he was like,
Oh.
"What the fuck is up with your brain?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so thick."
And you're just like, oh my god, get in.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh my god, can I jump on? Can I middle?"
He's got a dinner time
No,
Sunday gig. Fucking hell. Lunchtime.
Honestly, thick as
So are you an
fuck, it's
alky?
mental. Yeah. yeah.
At what age did you? So,
23.
You stopped drinking at 23.
Yeah, yeah.
what age did you start?
It was
Start
heavy.
hitting it?
When I was like, well, I
Can you
probably
be
had
a
my first
23-year-old
drink when I was
alcoholic?
like,
What do you think? You can't be a
14?
20?
So you had your first drink at 14 and then stopped at 20.
probably, yeah. And so
Was you a park drinker?
No,
No.
No.
So when did you start drinking at 14 then, just in the
Where
house?
were you drinking?
Oh, I thought you meant like, did I end up on a park bench? I was like, no.
No, I mean like,
Just
was you like one of them
yeah,
kids you went and got
yeah.
pissed in the
Just like
park?
made
with the white
houses
lightning
and
and that.
stuff, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, I was never one of them really.
No,
Like,
not me at all. Stayed in and drew recess characters till I was 18.
yeah.
Just keeping sober, wasn't I, for me football career? Like, when I got to 19, I thought, I don't think this is going to work. I'll go and get bevied.
So when did you start realising, hold on, I shouldn't be having a relationship with this?
Because that's quite a young age to
23,
like, you know,
yeah.
like
yeah, 20.
to realise something like that.
Is it a
Yeah,
problem?
well, yeah, I
It's
didn't
just
want,
really-
like, I didn't think I was at all. Like, I was in denial, total denial, and then
Was you in uni?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
it was post uni, and I'd gone to live in Australia, which is also hectic.
Yeah. So right. So when you were in uni, were you bad on it or just
yeah, awful.
like what's awful?
Like, so towards the end of my drinking, I was probably drinking like towards like a litre of vodka before I went out.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Yeah.
you were an alcoholic.
So you got a tolerance to it then?
Yeah.
Because
So
like
you get-
I done a litre of Sambuca before I went out once. And I think I
say
lost.
before.
I don't know. Litre of Sambuca before I went out once in uni, and literally, I lasted an hour. Woke up, footprint on my chest. No idea where it was from.
Shit.
Blood all over me. No idea where it's from. Nothing bleeding.
Human footprints.
Yeah, human footprint. A human footprint just on my chest.
Barefoot. There was a Yeti and everything, I swear to God.
Yeah, like just a footprint on my chest. Blood all over me. Wasn't bleeding anywhere. I had a white Ralph Lauren polo on.
Ruined.
Just ruined. And I was like, I said, wake up going.
That's the worst tragedy.
Like, what happened? Like, what happened? Like, and just have no recollection, and no one else knew either.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know what I must have just gone out and gone back home again,
Yeah.
and this has happened on the way home. And like,
Imagine if you got them tattoos that women get of them little dog footprints on the tits.
Yeah.
Seen them, that's crazy. That would be a bad, like a Mike Tyson face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were doing a litre of vodka every night, or every time before you went out.
Every time before I went out, but obviously, like, I didn't have any kind of like responsibility, so I was out a lot.
Yeah.
Right, so you're having are you just having that with, like, with mixers though?
Yeah.
Did you ever get to the point where you were waking up and like?
So I didn't think I was an alcoholic because I was like, I didn't drink in the morning. But
Yeah.
a lot of people were like, were you still awake?
When's the
And I was
morning
like,
and the
yeah,
night? That's the
yeah.
thing. I've drank at 8 a.m, but is that
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I think it's
Still awake
different
then.
for like the individual and how they take it. And it,
Yeah.
because I guess saying that, oh, well, I don't do it when I wake up in the morning is like a way of saying everything's all right.
Oh my God, of
Do you know
course
what I
it is.
mean?
Yeah. No, it's not
justifying to yourself, isn't
about
it?
how often, how much or whatever.
Yeah.
It's about what it makes, how it makes you feel and what it makes you do
Yeah.
as well. Like,
Yeah, and
my
how you
res-
what you become
my
like drunk and stuff.
consequences
Yeah,
were,
of
like,
course.
Because like
horrific.
Sam Harlan was telling us, because he's sober now,
Yeah, no, Sam.
and he was saying one of the things that stopped him. One of the reasons he's an alkie. He could never be like, and it's quite common apparently. Couldn't be hungover. So like, and he'd get terrible hangovers. So when he'd drink, he then just had to get on the booze. So he'd end up on the booze for
So
like
it's like a never-ending
5 or 6
cycle.
days because he just couldn't be in that sort of like anxiety, hangover, fear sort of thing. So you'd never let yourself be sober
Yeah.
to get to that sort of thing. I know a couple of people who've done this, who were the same. Like, was yours like that? Was yours just like when you fucking nail it, you just nailed it too hard? Or?
No, yeah, it was. It was like, oh, I can't feel this way, so I'll just get back on it. But
Right.
also, it was like, it was the anxiety, but it was also just like I was so young, and so it was like
Yeah.
no one flagged it because like the only
You're just
difference
living
between
your
mates
life.
and my mates that I was in uni with was like at the end of the night they were like wanting to go home, where I was like,
Well,
let's go.
let's
Do you know
carry
what I
on,
mean?
yeah.
Like, and then it also just meant that I ended up like losing friends, losing money, losing like all of my possessions, pissing people off, ending
Yeah.
up in really, really weird, bad situations.
You end up going
It
to
was
random
just
house parties and after
Yeah.
parties and stuff just to carry on drinking.
Yeah. And we're coming out of a blackout
Yeah.
in like a random street, and it's like dark. You're like, where the fuck am I?
See, would that
Yeah,
be like
within.
a problem drink? Like, what I'm trying to think, to me, an alcoholic is like somebody when it's like, you're gonna die if you have
Yeah.
another drop. Like, if you drink, you're going to die. Whereas
Yeah.
people who just go, I can't drink, Do you know what I mean? Like, because it makes my life shit, so I don't do it now. So I wouldn't. So you've given up alcohol, but it's like whether it became, were you physically needing it? Because I know that I've heard stories of like alcoholics that were like, they'll clear like a litre of vodka in the morning to stop the shakes. They're not pissed, but if they drive, they're fucking way over the limit. But so to me, like an alky is like
a functional alcoholic. You mean?
Well, somebody who's down in a litre of vodka in the morning
just to get some,
to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Like that to me is somebody like where they go, listen, when I drink, everything goes to shit and it's horrible and I want to kill myself. It's like, that's not like maybe an alcoholic. That's just that. Yeah. Well, then it's like, no, because some people can handle it a bit more.
There's some people who I know that drink every day, and I wouldn't say they're an alcoholic.
Yeah, I've got mates like
they don't have any of the other shit with it.
We were speaking about this yesterday. I've got mates who like they just must be born to take drugs because the boss had it. Yeah. Because like they'll take drugs, be on it. Won't sleep from Friday right through to Monday morning.
Yeah, but they can't be like that forever.
We're going to Monday morning and hold down, and I mean like boss jobs.
But do you think those people do you think they just keep going to like Keith Richards level forever? I think those people.
I think some people can
crack at one bit. I've seen them people who were like sick of the part, like they could go to the end and go to everything, and now like you start seeing like kind of go in the wrong way, and like you know what I mean. You were just like they were like the cool kid. Who stay out forever, and then I think some. I don't think you can keep up forever.
No. Eventually, life catches you probably. But like, well, you think that though. But I've got like mates. I've got an uncle who just we're all waiting for it to catch up on him, and it just doesn't.
And it never does.
It's just like,
is he he's an alcoholic?
No, I wouldn't say. Well, I don't know. I'm not in a position to. I wouldn't say he's an alcoholic. Course, I just think he's boss of partying. Like he's just incredible at it.
Yeah, no,
he's put people to bed like big, like people just like have a weekend with him and then can't see him for 6 months, where that's just his life sort of thing. Like and he just laughed at them
going.
Gotta
be some demon.
There's got to be.
Nobody can do that. It's like
just fucking.
He's running from something big. He's waiting for it to all catch up on him, mate. And I don't think it's with his health. I think it's something else that's gonna come out.
But like, I've got another mate. He's like just fucking boss at taking drugs. He'll take every drug under the sun, and you wouldn't really know he's on drugs.
See, I'm
like,
terrible at it all.
Whereas I look at people and think I can't handle the ale. I have anxiety from day drinking a bit. How can you go into work on Monday and function? It took me 6 hours to get going this morning because me and him had half a bottle of whiskey.
And then the rest afterwards.
A couple of Carlin. But I was in bed by 9. And then the whole of the day I'm like, what did I say last night? I am so tired, can't function. And I'm thinking to sit and look at people, how are you holding down your life? Because I know what you've took. It's like,
I heard that apparently, like, you know when you're a teenager you don't get hangovers and stuff, you can handle it or whatever, a lot of people. And then like later on in your life, it becomes harder, you're more tired, But I heard that once you get to like 50, you get a rebirth of it and you just don't get hangovers. Or you can just like go out. Is that true?
I think
like it's just like you can just be like a
they
party.
know the limits and they can stay out to whenever you want to stay out, but you recognise
but apparently
yourself,
they're just like you're suddenly invincible again.
I reckon if you gave any 50-year-olds to say, I'll bang 5 of them shots now, they'd wake up feeling a bit fucking rough.
You probably get to 50, realise I just drink this.
They can box smart. They go, I'll last till 5 a.m, but I'm not going to be doing, I'm not going to drink like a meth.
I stay in a pocket and a jab.
Yeah.
There's no swings. There's no swings. Like just fucking jab and head movement, jab. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah, because you see
like my half never gets hungover, but he only drinks lager. But he goes to bed
when he goes to bed. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
He's funny. Me dad, like me, my dad drinks the amount of ale he's going to drink no matter how long he's out. So if my dad goes out at 4 and comes home at 8 o'clock, he will drink say 5 pints. Say 5 pints an hour. So 20 pints.
5 pints an hour.
20 bottles. Say 20 bottles of bud.
15.
If he goes out for 2 hours, he still drinks 20 bottles of bud, and just fucking jams it in. It's like he goes. It's like, this is what I'm doing.
That's a weird way to live your life.
Why is it got to be that bad?
I don't know, but
I've got 15 minutes to sing 11 pints. Just don't do it, mate.
That's just what they like. That's literally what they like. They know what time they're going home. It's like, right, I'm fucking bladdered. I'm getting bladdered. bladder before I leave this place.
See,
and it doesn't matter what time they get there. They can get there an hour before they're going home.
So he still gets
but they're
bladdered.
leaving bladdered. Like,
so he wants to get bladdered, yeah.
I think he probably just wants to get bladdered, yeah.
But he doesn't want to get like.
I don't know. I don't know.
I
don't know. It's just funny. It's funny watching. Like, just like I bet you think this. Like I've watched him just like. When he knows he's on limited time, he's only got 3 hours to fucking jamming it. And he's like, what are you doing? Like,
I had my granddad apparently he used to like shovel coal or whatever. Like but apparently before they went to work, my dad would drop him off at the job, but then he'd come back around with his mates and then they'd go the boozer and they'd have 6 pints of bitter in 15 minutes. I think it was after work actually because it was so labour intensive the job.
Yeah.
They'd literally
You're
go
thirsty as well, yeah.
So and they just bang 6 pints of bitter in 15 minutes.
Well, I used to say that to people. I was like, no, I can't. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm just thirsty. And I'm just thirsty. But I was like, it was that thing. Do you know what I mean? But
I get like that though. I get greedy.
Creeps up on you, doesn't it?
As soon as I start drinking, I get greedy. When I start drinking too quick, then I'm like, start necking me pints too fast and stuff.
You say all this, but you've been out with you twice,
and I'm fucking.
And you're
I'm finished.
Off.
I'm finished, mate.
He goes. I get greedy. I can smell it. Comics night out. Fucking bails at 5:30.
6:30. All right.
And he left a full pint.
PM.
Left a full pint.
So we got there for 2 and 6:30. Just like I'm done. Since I've had the baby, I can't drink. Like I never had it, but you know what I mean. Since the baby's come, I'm just finished.
I think a lot of people, like my sister and my brother-in-law, like rarely do now, unless
you're
the
just
kids,
constantly
they're
tired.
not looking after.
That's what it is. It's not even that I'm pissed. My body just goes.
General exhaustion.
Nah, you're done now. Go home. And I'm just. I've got to the point where now I just listen to it. Where you used to just drink through it, and then just end up regretting it the next fucking day.
Now you're like, why is
my eyes are closing now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
You fucking. There's fucking pictures of you after the last stand when you're just asleep on a table.
They were photos, and I was blinking.
Yeah, okay.
Unless they've got the live on them, mate. Yeah. I was just blinking.
I was getting messages after the last stands going, we tried to help him, but he just won't listen, and it's just him a kip on the table.
Well, it was.
Did you say
I died on my arse that night, and so I thought I need to treat myself.
I need to forget about this.
Days, yeah. I was fucking
Is that your
awful,
thing, Falls? Like, because I've got a mate when she's too drunk, she just falls like anywhere.
Yeah, because I'm just generally exhausted.
I think that's mad. Like, no matter what, is that your thing?
Well, you just don't know what you.
Well, I go home, so don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know because I don't really go out much. Like, I'm never really out like in a club. Ever really? It's usually just finish at the pub and then if you drink at home or something.
In the pub.
Yeah.
So when did you realise you had to stop?
I didn't.
Someone had to stop. Someone had to tell you.
Yeah. I wanted to kill myself, and so I went
right.
had to see like a.
You didn't think that had anything to do with the ale when you thought?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Really?
Yeah, and I've got loads of family that are alcoholic as well, and I didn't like none of them had flagged.
But that makes
I'd
it
lived away
normalised,
for 5 years
as well. Like if people just drink all the time around you, you think, well, it's not that.
Oh no. Like honestly, didn't think it. And then she said, "Oh, like how much are you drinking?" And I don't know what possessed me, but I just didn't lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like, I think you need to go into treatment for a bit. And I was like, oh, fuck. But I knew I didn't want it because on the first day I went, I was like, is this day 0 or day 1? Because I just wanted to like get through it. Like I was just not happy.
Yeah.
But then
there mustn't have been many young girls in these courses. It was like what was this treatment thing? Was it like a was it a rehab? Like do you go to like genuine rehab?
Yeah. So it's just like every day you just go in and they ask you about your feelings and stuff. It was heavy. But yeah, no, there were some people who were my age.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll also in for different addictions as well.
Right. So they just like sort of just put you in the rehab and then just like what happens when you go to did you have to pay for that or?
So my mum and dad had insurance, but some people
had what alky insurance?
No, just health
just
insurance.
In case this kid's a wrong
I'll get some of that out now.
Saw you on the communion one. Went, get that insurance, Get that. It's insurance Dave told you about.
Yeah.
No, just health insurance. But to be fair, they like there's only like 28 beds in Liverpool for addiction, which is fucked.
Yeah.
28 beds.
beds.
Fucking hell, I can name you 28 people in my phone book that need that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's his family. That's just his dad's side.
So it really, like, you have to have been
Be
detoxed
bad.
a
Yeah.
lot of times by the hospital to finally get a bed through them.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I'd had alcohol poisoning and things like that, but I hadn't had to be
Detox.
go through a medical detox yet. Although I did have visual hallucinations and stuff when I was getting.
You don't want to talk about this, by the way?
No, I'm totally chill with that.
So you know when
so it was fine.
I have to start the pod again, and Molly might miss the training. What an odd time to ask her. She's always talking about the alcoholism. It's like, well, we've done like an hour, so like, are you okay to talk about this? It's late now, isn't it?
the other thing I was gonna. So one thing I've always found. So you know Russell Brand.
Yeah.
The way he talks about like
Who?
Russell Brand. The way
Is
he.
Is he open micer?
Yeah. He'll never make it. He talks about him getting sober and someone literally just having to throw him into a rehab, saying sort your life out. Which he's the first person I've ever heard of anyone that happening to, because everywhere else says you have to want
But also,
to get
he
clean.
went to like the posh rehab.
Yeah,
His
he
family
was
are like well
famous,
off.
mate.
Like not a lot of people have that.
Yeah, but his
opportunity to go
agent
to
forced him
something
to go
like
to rehab. He didn't want to go to
yeah.
rehab. And the same thing you're saying, you didn't think you were an alcoholic. So like when you wanted to go and you're like, right, I just get through this and then carry on. Like, so I've always been told you needed to want to get clean to get clean.
Yeah.
So
I think that's
like,
the case. isn't
So
it?
the people that, like, I know quite a few people who've died
Yeah.
that were in around the same time I was in.
Yeah.
Just because they did the 28 days and then they left and were like, I don't want it. Like,
Yeah.
I want to have my life
Yeah.
the way I want
Yeah.
it. Whereas, like, something happened when I was there that made me realise, like,
You're
like
shocked.
an
Yeah.
accumulation of things of, like, you know, I had to get letters from my family and my friends.
Right,
and,
yeah.
like, I also had to, like, think about where it all came from and why I do this thing and
Yeah.
like, had to do loads of work on myself.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, people do it really half-assed because they just don't want to look at themselves.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
Yeah, it takes a lot to
that's
do
why,
that.
Yeah.
And then, so that's why I think it depends whether you're willing or you're not willing.
Yeah.
And so that is, like, part of it is, like, you have to be.
Yeah, you've got to want to do it, and like you say, like say with like when people say if you drink again you're gonna die, and they go fuck it, I'm gonna drink.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
They just go, well, there's nothing we can do for you then.
Yeah.
So if you
Oh,
like
honestly,
what you like,
so many people
and you
have
know what,
said
fair
to me,
enough.
I want it, and I've gone, do you want it though? Like, and I've been like, there's help available. Like, so many since, because I am quite open about it. So many people that I went to school with and uni with, and even, you know, people that were on the circuit with have been like, I've got an issue with my drinking, or I've got this
Really?
or whatever. Yeah. And I would never
Does that become a
say
drag,
who
that, though?
they are. No, not at all. But it's more that I can't give anyone my recovery, so I
Yeah.
have to go, there's help available. Here are
Yeah.
these things that you can go to. And it's whether they then go, oh, I was quite fucked when I said that. I actually don't really want to do it. You're like, okay. And then I kind of have to try and distance myself because I can't.
Yeah, I don't get like that
Can't
when I'm
make
drinking.
someone
When
do
I'm
it.
drinking, I never
Or-
think, oh, I need to stop this. I just think more.
no, I don't
No.
think.
Well, then you're probably not an alcoholic, which
Yeah.
is great.
I think
It's usually what happens.
Thankfully.
I think when I go to the gym, I'll be able to. I can stop it. I can stop it because I remember when I used to gamble a bit. I
Yeah.
just went, I'm not an addict. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm gambling because I think I can make money from this, and clearly I can't.
Yeah.
So I just went, I'm a moron. I'm
Yeah.
not an addict. Same with alcohol. It's like I drink a lot more than I should.
Yeah.
Everyone does that, don't they? Really, we all drink more than we should. But I'm not like drinking it. And like when I think what an alcoholic is in my head,
It's like Homer Simpson.
yeah, I'm just like that. I'm just like a guy. I drink too much, I just am doing too much.
Yeah.
But I could go, right, I need to stop now.
That's what I've always
These
said.
spots are enough to make me go, I need to change it now because I don't want to be coming out with spots.
I think if you want to stop and you can stop, that proves that you're not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there was so
Yeah.
many times where these bad shit happened and I went, right, I am never doing that again. That is not who I am. I am not drinking. And then, like, the next day, I would be fucked
used
again.
it maybe as an excuse sometimes to go like thinking I want to do something, or is it literally just bad decision after bad? Like what sort of? Were you just like? So you know, some people might use it as an excuse if they go, "Oh, I'll start drinking loads to try and excuse some behaviours or something." Or were you?
No, I would say that the behaviours were like a product of my drinking, like because otherwise you're just a dickhead. If you like have these behaviours and you're like, I gotta facilitate them so that people don't think I'm a dickhead.
I'll just down this bottle of vodka so I can blame that.
Yeah, like it wasn't like I'm just gonna.
There's people I think. Nah, you're just a knob.
That's in your
Stop blaming it on other thing. I've got mates who like fucking turn hippie every other week.
They'll check into Rehab when they have to.
It's the moon, mate.
Gotta stay here.
The moon's too close. It's not me. I'm not a dickhead. Like, no. At some point, you just got to accept you're a cunt. So doesn't matter the amount of DMT you do. You're never going to awaken the fact. The reason is you're a cunt. Right? Stop being a cunt.
Yeah.
So what were the behaviours? Were they just like self-destruct? Like were you just?
Yeah, just like a lot of like.
You're dying to hear like a story of like a. So was you ever in a gangbang or like what?
I don't want to cry too much.
Did you ever wake up with like
to go like what's like that's enough.
You're just like, have I ever done any of these things?
So I remember like.
You ever woke up with a pot noodle, your cock out, and an Indian fella waving at you on chat roulette? Right? Has that ever happened to you? Because that's happened to you.
I do that
on
the train.
Probably like so near the end of my drinking. So like it was the new year before I got sober. I was in Budapest and I got into a blackout and I ended up like walking back. So we were in a club like I'd say like 10, 15, 20 minutes away from our hotel. I was in a blackout. I walked back to the hotel. And I was like found on the hotel steps and it was like minus 13 and that was just like one moment of many, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's bad.
But yeah.
I had that
and it's like you're not having a laugh anymore.
No, and then it was so embarrassing because I was with my friends and their mums and dads and they were like at breakfast the next day, they were like, it was like all the girls had like tried to like stop me from having to deal with the parental questioning and I was like I walked home with you, like someone's dad, and he was like, I didn't walk home with you. And then they all kind of gathered and I remember one of the mums I drank a lot of mulled wine like through the day because it was like a way to kind of not be judged.
Yeah.
And so I drank it.
I'm not an alky, I'm cultured.
Yeah, exactly. I'm on holiday at Christmas. Like, how dare you?
Walk around with the ladle and look at yourself.
It's got fruit in it actually, so.
Rude, cinnamon sticks, rude. And so, one of the mums was like, oh, have you got a hot chocolate? And I remember just thinking, mind your fucking business. And I was like, no, it's a mulled wine actually. And I just every day she would ask me on that holiday.
Right.
And I was like, oh, dickhead. But obviously she knew something I didn't.
Yeah. She spotted it before.
Yeah, but them cunts can still fuck themselves with them. Oh, another drink, is it?
If you didn't have a problem, she'd have found something.
Are you having a drink at one, are you? Right, okay.
But yeah, no, it's honestly like, I've been like sober. I'll be 5 years sober in April.
Oh,
which is like amazing. Mad.
Imagine alcohol's probably one of the ones that people don't pick up on enough because
it's social and it's not legal.
Well, it's also you're probably very rarely in a position where you're robbing. So like people rob, like to buy heroin. You get to a point where you're robbing people's purses and stuff like that. You buy an alcohol, you can get a bottle of vodka for you can get a bottle of vodka for $10 sort of thing. You can just neck it.
Honestly, like it is one of, like I've got friends who are like, cocaine addicts or whatever, and they're like, I don't have to go to, a Sunday roast and me nan to be like, doing lines at the table. Like it is that thing like that makes it harder. And when I was 23, I had to be like, do I just become a recluse and end up drinking because I'm depressed, or do I just try and be around it and just see how I crack on? Do you know what I mean? And so I just went out. And
do you think if you had a drink now, you could stop after one, or do you think it would go and descend into?
No, probably not. Like, I think that there is something
don't
to be
miss
with,
it.
like...
It's
Do you think there's a
the
path that
craving.
even if you had one, there's a path that might go back?
Yeah, so it's like right now I feel like mentally and spiritually well, and I feel fine.
Yeah.
Whereas like
Fuck you,
if
Alex.
you're in a bad if you're in a bad spot,
Right now I feel nothing.
if you're in a bad spot, like you're kind of going like it was. I remember when I was drinking as well, I would be like, this is why I'm drinking, because this is shit and this happens to me, and it's like everyone has to deal with like grief and bad shit in life, but they don't use it to fuel that.
Well, that's what like addiction is like, usually just hiding from reality.
Of course,
and
it
all
is.
the
Yeah,
things.
it's just easier.
So,
yeah,
and then that builds up more, and then you just keep drinking.
What's the hardest thing you found sober?
Dancing.
Dancing.
Oh, I can imagine that. Yeah.
Honestly, I wrote a play about being a young sober alcoholic, and I was like, I remember the first time I went to an occasion sober, and I was like, oh my God, what do I do?
Were you quite a big party animal when you were so it was noticeable you weren't dancing? Like if Alex wasn't dancing, like, you know, like if I was
if I went out and wasn't like, if I was at a party and wasn't dancing, people would be like, why aren't you like my mates wait for me to get just the right level of drunk, so I start dancing.
Oh no, I think it's like group of girls, like everyone's having a dance.
Does it feel like now that you're the first person to get up at a wedding? That's like an awkward dance. Like everyone's sat down. You can't have a proper dance.
Yeah.
It's like they've done the first dancing.
Right.
What that it feels like for you guys
just,
as well.
does that feel like, if you're sober, that's what it just feels like all the time when you're dancing?
Yeah.
Like it's not quite.
No matter where
unless
you're
you're on your own.
Yeah, that's
you're just like, oh my God.
Do you miss it? Do you miss dancing, or was it never like that?
Oh, I can dance now. I'm fine.
You know, you got over it now.
It's fine. It took a long time though. Like I was
sober
like,
dancing
what do I
in
do with my hands? And I was like trying to
just awkwardly shift.
You probably get a better dancer though because you're thinking about it more.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah. Just hitting those spots. Yeah, no, I'm fine with it now. But it was fucking hard.
I couldn't dance in public.
Oh, I love it.
No,
love it. Oh no, I've got to get a certain level of drunk, but that's because I'm a show off, and all my mates know what's coming.
I also
so because I just love it.
He reckons he's fucking.
I'm just a good dance. I was born with the beat.
No,
I was born with the beat. I'm just a very good dancer, Mal, and everyone waits for me to dance because of how good I am.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I'll get drunk one time to see it.
No, to be fair, that is probably one of the hardest things, but probably one of the best things is like doing
not being embarrassed when you wake up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that, and
That's
also the
dangerous.
fact that I have my like loving family around me.
What do you mean by doing jokes then?
But like, so I just mean like doing stand up sober. Like, I'm so glad that I started it sober because I feel so fucking cool that I do it sober. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, so many people are like,
you're not better than me, Alex. All right, you're not better than me.
Coming on here with your good mental health and loving family and everything. Who the fuck booked you?
I love doing gigs sober. Fuck off.
No, but to be fair, I just think when you've been in that place of wanting to die and stuff like this is just so.
Was his first 18 months of doing comedy?
Yeah.
Just getting on stage and dying on his ass.
I needed to drink. I couldn't have kept it going. How long have you been going?
Comedy wise?
Yeah.
Like
oh, shit,
we need to go.
Feb, like 3 years, I think, something like that. So I've been going.
These are both still got the love for the game. They've still got the love for the game.
They had the pandemic.
They're not dead behind the eyes like us.
I'm not dead behind the eyes, mate. I fucking love it.
Yeah, I love it. Honestly, I have just got to a point where I can't stop now to save face.
Well, we've got to wrap up, haven't we?
Yeah.
Shame, really.
Right. Thank you very much, Alex. Where can we find you?
I'm at AlexStringer5 on Instagram,
Right.
and I'm on Facebook, Alex Stringer Comedian. I'm on Twitter, AlexStringer5 as well, and the podcast with the science.
Oh yeah.
Hypothesis podcast, and there's a dash between the hypothesis.
Right. Sound. And you, Molly?
Damn Daniel podcast in here.
Yeah.
Is this your seat on that podcast?
Yeah, you're on my seat.
Wow, no, I was here first.
Lad.
Yeah, that's true. I have progressed to the couch now. That's
You're in my seat.
Yeah, I'm not about this seat. This is about to break.
I hate these couches, by the way.
Shallow Hal moment.
These couches are very unforgiving.
Yeah. And Molly McGuinness. What is my Instagram? Oh, Molly EH, 'cause that's how I say it.
Molly EH.
Molly. Molly EH McGuinness. Just type Molly McGuinness in, I'm sure it'll come up.
Yeah, there's not going to be any other Molly McGuinnesses.
There's no massive ones. There's like a kid on YouTube who like does like little songs. She is cute, to be fair. But I'm the number one.
We know what Molly does when she's hungover. Then the little Molly McGuinness kid goes,
trolls that little twat on YouTube.
Dislike.
Who the fuck do you think you are? Right, thank you very much.
Ta-da.